Hello? There we go. That's looking better. Hello? Hello? Testing? Okay, is that audible now? Yo, Jalen says yo. Let's see if that saves when I move. It's not there. Add that there. Add that there. Okay. It's incredible how I can change literally nothing between my streams and still have things break. Um, Jalen, does this sound okay? Am I a little loud? Am I good? I think I'm okay. Okay, I apologize for that delay, starting a little bit late. Today we're going to be having a little bit of fun. Basically, I'm reliving 2014. My favorite, little loud. I will turn it down just a little bit then. How about like that? Does that seem good? I will be reliving my favorite Heroclix set. It is War of Light from 2014. If you guys are currently playing now, if you play the X of Swords organized play event, it was the same thing. This was a storyline event. This one, though, took place over the course of 6 months. Every month, you would be playing with one of two waves of booster packs. My mic isn't working. It's sounding bad. Are you lying to me? Nope. Juan's just trolling me. Thank you. Um, as I was saying, it took place over 6 months. Months 1 through 3 used wave 1 of the booster packs. Months 4 through 6 used wave 2 of the booster packs, and we have wave 2 here. What is the difference between wave 1 and wave 2? It was the lantern cores that you would find inside the boosters. So basically, for those of you who are not in the know of Green Lantern is my favorite comic book series, even though I've not read it in approximately 10 years. The way that it works is you have your eponymous Green Lantern, which many of you should have heard of by now, if at the very least see the Ryan Reynolds movie, even though it wasn't very good. There are 9 different lantern cores. Each of them represents a different emotion, part of the emotional spectrum of light. Each of them have rings, and they can make like different constructs and stuff. And basically, we'll talk about more of those as we see them. The different colors are the rainbow along with black and white. I believe this set has black, red, indigo, and I think maybe yellow, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure what's going to be in here. So we are going to open this up. So I do have two bricks right here that is 20 booster packs. I'm not 100% sure if they're a sealed case. I asked for a sealed case, but this is a super old set. It's kind of hard to get a hold of at this point, so I can't guarantee anything. But we're just going to open it up and take a look and see what we get. So starting off with booster number 1. Some interesting things about this set is I believe every brick is guaranteed a chase, and I believe there will also be a prime of some variety. So let's go ahead and take a look. Starting off with booster number 1. We have a Black Lantern Reanimate. We have a controller, so orange lanterns are in the set. Sodom Yat, one of my favorite pieces in the set. Black Lantern Aquaman, and we have a guy. Nope, that's not guy. That's don't tell me. Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is a Black Lantern, I believe. So we're gonna take a look at these. Already super excited to see a lot of these pieces. Right now in chat, I'm currently reading Far Sector right now. It's fantastic. I love the Lanterns. I've not read Far Sector. Is that the one with the newer female Lantern? I don't know her name, but I think she might be in the upcoming Batman set, if I'm correct. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. Camera 2. Hey. So we can see here I have some set dressing decor. I talked about previously how this was a storyline event that took place over multiple months. This Necron was actually the prize if you beat the majority of those tournaments. Necron is basically DC's version of the Grim Reaper. He is the Black Lantern kind of entity, and he's the embodiment of death. So super happy that I won him because this tournament was amazing. Joe, yes, Joe is the new Green Lantern who we're getting in Batman Team Up, so I'm super excited for that. So we will go ahead and start by taking a look. We have Black Lantern Reanimate. There's a lot of generics in this set, and I really love it. So it's just so you can field a lot of these teams. This is like the generic Black Lantern Soldier. So Black Lanterns are the they're not technically really like part of the emotional spectrum. They're death, but I don't think death is really an emotion. Here we go. So something you're going to notice right away is that these cards don't look like current cards. These are the kind of white bordered cards that we used to get. So what they didn't do is they don't show you what the dial looked like. The special powers were oriented a little bit differently. Overall, they were just kind of a little bit harder to read than they are now, to be honest. I love the new modern look for cards. But what I do absolutely love about these old lantern pieces is in this set, they put the giant lantern symbol behind all of the cards. So I absolutely love that. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this guy does. So we have Black Reanimate. When a friendly character with a Black Lantern core KOs an opposing character with an attack, you may place Black Lantern Reanimate on click number 2 in its square and add it to your force. So that was super fun. Basically, you have one of these on your team. You have a bunch of them on your sideline. I don't think it's technically on your sideline. I think it's from out of the game. That matters for like sideline limitations. But basically, you just keep one of them in the back, and then your Black Lantern team will just slowly like kill people, and then they'll just spawn little zombies in their place. The other thing that he has is Black Lantern Reanimate can use Steal Energy when opposing characters KO'd. Black Lantern Reanimate heals of 1 damage. So basically, what was also super cool about this set is it was so strongly tied to like certain mechanics being tied to certain lantern cores. So Black Lanterns got a whole lot of steal energy, and whenever a character was KO'd, they heal an extra click. You can see that on this guy. He's really, if you have him on your team, you're really going to want to look for KOing people. He is 35 points. The only way to really kind of look at his stat is to kind of click through his dial. So we'll take a look at the top dial of all the pieces. We won't be looking through all of them. Oops. So if we take a look here, we have, click. So for 35 points, you get a whole 9 attack and 2 damage with 0 defenses. So it's really hard for me to judge these on any kind of like viability level because it's been like a decade. Like power creep is like gone insane. So basically, I can't really judge these on how well they would play with newer pieces because these older pieces would get stomped. But still absolutely love, I just love this set, man. I love lanterns. So I will put him in the Black Lantern section, which I've arbitrarily decided is over there. And I like him. I think he's cool and he's fun in Black Lantern teams. So 5 stars. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the Controller. The Controller is an interesting one. If I remember, the Controller was a race of people who... I don't remember their exact details. I do know that the Orange Lantern Larfleeze went and murdered them all. So there are no more any controllers to my knowledge. So this is kind of a the last of his kind of piece or something. I don't know. If we take a look, you can see he's not affiliated with any Lantern Corps, although there are actually Orange Lantern constructs. If we see some Orange Lantern pieces, which I don't think we will, basically... the Orange Lanterns are the Lanterns of Greed. What happens, there's only one of them, it's Larfleeze. It's basically impossible to have multiple Orange Lanterns because they get greedy over each other's rings and they kill each other for them. So there's only one Orange Lantern, he is Larfleeze, and he's one of the strongest characters in all of Green Lantern because he has the entire orange spectrum to himself, basically. So you can see these guys... This is kind of the normal version, but I think in Wave 1 of this set, there's actually a construct version of him, because when Orange Lanterns kill people, they... when Orange Lanterns kill people, they can, like, bring them back to life as constructs, as not really zombies, but, like, constructs. Let's see. I believe Juan said in chat, Lex was an Orange Lantern for a bit. True, Lex was actually an Orange Lantern in the War of Light event. What happened in that storyline was basically a... I don't remember the exact context of it, it's been a long time, but basically a lot of rings created deputy rings, and a bunch of different DC characters basically became lanterns for a day. So that's where you got stuff like Blue Lantern Flash, one of my favorite designs. You also got Orange Lantern Lex Luthor. You had Violet Lantern Wonder Woman, and I can't really remember the rest. There was Yellow Lantern Scarecrow. There was actually a Heroclix out of it, and it was actually the first ever Heroclix set that I bought. That was when I learned how to play the game. It's incredibly hard to find nowadays because that was from like 2008. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what this guy does. We have Unleash the Sun Eater. I guess that was something they did. When an opposing character takes damage from the controller's attack, add 1 token to your force's Sun Eater pool. Give the controller a power action, remove 8 from your force's Sun Eater pool, and deal 4 penetrating damage to a character within range. So you gotta hit 8 times with these guys. They have no special powers beyond that. What is this? Special damage power. Controller can use Perplex, Probability Control, and Willpower. That's actually a very strong defense power. He doesn't get that at the start of his dial, though. Let's see when he gets that, because there's no good way to check anymore. So he gets it. 2, 3. Ouch. Okay, so you're only going to see that on, like, his last 2 clicks. He is, I'm sorry, 90 points? I'm sorry? Like, it's so hard to, like, look at a character like this and be like, you're paying 90 points for 9 attack. Yeah, I can't really judge them based on, like, strength alone. What I do know is that these guys are pretty cool. I would never field them on my own, but I like the fact that they were all killed by larfleas. So you know what? 5 stars. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look. We will put him in the... I don't have a miscellaneous category. Put him over off camera because I don't know where else to put him. Let's take a look at Black Lantern, Aquaman. So basically, what this event and the Black Lanterns are from, it was an event called Blackest Night. Big part of the Green Lantern canon was kind of building up towards Blackest Night. It is when the Black Lanterns finally kind of arose and they brought back to life a whole lot of dead DC characters. So at this point in time, Aquaman was actually dead, and he was resurrected as a Black Lantern. Oh, you can see he has the transporter symbol, which doesn't exist anymore. Fun. Taking a look at his card, he has Summon Undead Sharks. Once per game, give Aquaman a power action and place up to 4 undead shark bystanders as described on this card, each adjacent to different opposing characters within range, and add 2 to your action total this turn. That is savage. And down here we can see the undead sharks. They have beached at the end of your turn, KO this character if they don't occupy water. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Nope. Yeah, I'm going to have to take a closer look at that one. Wow, that's hard to see even without, like... Wow, they have a whopping 14 defense, but they do have 10 attack with Blades, Claws, Fangs, so you can actually, like, murder people really quickly with some sharks. Plus, if you use somebody like the Scarlet Witch from Disney Plus, who can take away everybody's powers with a certain number of squares, you can actually get rid of this beached ability, and then you can keep them alive. So that's a piece of synergy nobody would ever think about. Other than that, we can see he has Death, a Watery Grave. Aquaman can use Steal Energy when opposing characters KO'd, heal him of 1 damage, and all clear squares within 1 of him turn into water terrain. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So he's a Black Lantern Corps monster. There's been a lot of love for water lately, especially now, actually, with the change to how swimming works. So swimming used to do something nonsensical. Now, basically, you get, like, stealth if you're further than 4 squares away, roughly. So now, actually, being able to just, like, wet your pants effectively, and, is it near them, or is it... And all clear squares within 1 of that character. Okay, so they basically, like, they melt into a puddle. Okay, so that's not quite as useful as him creating water on his own, but still, I can actually imagine that there's some fun, like, synergies for that. Plus, I just like the sharks. 129 points, though. You would never play it, but with that being said, this was the first time we saw Aquaman come back to life for a long time, so 5 stars. Yeah, I thought it said that Aquaman created water within himself, but it's somebody else, so Aquaman does not wet his pants. During this timeline, he's not in this set, sadly. We also got a Black Lantern Batman. That would have been a super cool piece. I just bring that one specifically up because in that timeline, Batman was killed in Infinite Crisis or something like that. But then later it was retconned that he wasn't actually killed and he went back in time. So the zombie that was Zombie Batman wasn't actually Zombie Batman. And it's one of those weird facts that I like to bring up. The next uncommon that we have is Sodom Yat, one of my favorite sealed characters in this set. Sodom Yat, super cool. Sodom Yat is a Daxamite. Basically, he is a Kryptonian in everything other than name. He gets super strength, flight, all of that good stuff if he's, like, next to... I don't necessarily think it's a yellow sun, but basically, he has the powers of Superman, and he's got a Green Lantern ring, so that makes him really cool. He's also like 200 points or something like that. Let me take a closer look. 250 points, and he was an absolute monster in Sealed. I loved this piece. He won me many tournaments. Taking a look at his card, we can see he has that X-ray vision, except weak to lead. Are Daxamites weak to lead? I don't actually know. Or are you saying Kryptonians aren't weak to lead, are they? No, Kryptonians definitely are. Daxamites might be. I don't really know exactly. He has just the Green Lantern Core keyword. He ignores hindering for targeting. Love that. Oh, yes, this is why he was so fun. Destined for power. If Sodom Yat is at 125 points, he's KO'd if he crosses the red KO line. Otherwise, if he's 250, he isn't. And that is because he is one of those special characters who has like a special dial. So, wow, look at those stats for 250 points. Ooh, that's, ouch. Click, click, click. And then you get to his red KO line. And bam, he becomes a monster with hypersonic speed and 10 damage. And I believe that is a stop click. So super fun for him just to like pop into power on these last ones. I believe, don't quote me on this, I'm going to have to check. I believe he gets possessed by Ion, the entity of will, who I will talk about if that is true. So let's read the rest of his dial and see if that is in fact a true thing. So, back of his cards, where they have the special powers, you can also see that wonderful Green Lantern emblem on there. Ah, love it. Wielder of Ion, he is, yay, we get to talk about the entities. When this click is revealed due to damage taken, stop turning the dial. That's how they used to write stop clicks before they just decided to make it a keyword. He can use Impervious and the Quintessence team ability. Basically, that's the equivalent of a Power Cosmic nowadays. It's not called Power Cosmic nowadays, it's called Cosmic Energy nowadays. And he can't be healed beyond this point. He can use Willpower when an opposing character targets Sodom Yat without Wit or Perplex. Roll a d6 on a 50-50, ignore the effect. Just really good. It's a little interesting because you get, when do you get this power? Do you get it at the end of his dial too? No, he gets that on the start of the pile. I was going to say it was a little weird there that he gets the outwit protection because Quintessence automatically gives him the outwit protection, but Daxamite Heat Vision. Anyway, just a super fun, like, just awesome, just super cool. Like, basically Superman if he was possessed by Ion, who we're going to talk about now. Once Batman team-up rules happen, I want to use the Lantern Rings, though right now I only have pink and red. Hopefully, when I open some of these, I will get more than just pink and red, but of course, in the new Batman set, they are re-releasing the rings that you can find in these booster packs. A little sad that they're not using different sculpts, but maybe that's just me being salty. But basically, we're getting new Green Lantern rings, and they do stuff completely different to these Green Lantern rings, and it's actually super cool, but maybe overpowered, and maybe the new equipment rules are going to break everything. Who knows? The moral is, I'm very excited for the upcoming Batman set. The green one, the green ring, I believe you could only get in the starter set for War of Light, which came with a Sinestro and a Hal Jordan and a Construct. Along with my favorite pair of Green Lantern dice that I lost, and I loved those dice. I cannot find them anymore. So I'm probably going to have to rebuy that set. Anyway, so as I was saying, Sodom Yat gets possessed by Ion. Ion is the entity of green. So basically the way that Green Lantern works is there are the emotional spectrum, but there are also beings made of pure energy of that color. So every single color of light has a being that represents that emotion. And in this case, we have Ion, who is the emotional entity. Oh, his wing broke. That's sad. I think it was already broken. Oh, there it is. Cool. I will re-glue that later. That was already broken. Don't worry about it. As I was saying, Ion is the emotional entity of willpower. He is just the manifestation of willpower, basically. So the few characters that have ever been possessed by Ion basically turned into a god temporarily. Like Kyle Rayner did it, my favorite Green Lantern. Sodom Yat did it. I'm sure some other people did it until all of the entities died, but that's a different story. Did they ever come back? I don't know. I stopped reading the comics. Something tells me that WizKids is not going to replace my 2014 Broken Ion, considering I've seen people on the Reddit try to get replacements for the newest set, and they still refuse. Bad times. Kyle was your favorite until Joe. Really, I guess I'm going to have to check out some Joe comics then, because I'm interested. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I do love me some Kyle. Anyway, whole bunch of different entities. I love them all. I hope we can get the rest of the chases. They were super unique and super awesome at the time, also super broken, but we'll discuss that when we get to them. The other one that I have here, I think is also from this wave. It is Proselyte. That is the Indigo entity, the entity of compassion. So it's a squid. It also kind of looks like a graboid from the movie Tremors. Anyway, Green Lantern section will be here, in front of Ion. And last but not least, we have Black Lantern, Jon Stewart. Is this Black Lantern? Am I lying? It is Black Lantern, Jon Stewart. I think this is a bit of a... This is an interesting one, because if I'm correct, Jon Stewart became a Compassion Lantern during the War of Light. He became an Indigo Lantern. Indigo Lanterns have these staffs, and then you can see Jon Stewart is he's a military veteran, so he actually turned his into a rifle. Compassion Lanterns can actually channel the power of other lanterns temporarily, like feeling their emotions or whatever. So he temporarily channeled Black Lantern energy to kill the Green Lantern planet, but that is a different story as well. I guess it's a story for now, but I don't remember the context exactly. So basically, I don't think he was ever technically truly a Black Lantern. I think he was just channeling it. There's a purple one of him too. Yes, a lot of what I love this set so much about is basically every single character from Green Lantern got representation in like every form. So a lot of the named characters like Jon Stewart, Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan, if they've been different Lanterns in the past, you'll find them in these set, and I absolutely love it. So let's see what he does and if he kills planets. He has In My Sights, representing his military training. He also has Black Lantern Corps, Monster Soldier, got that Black Lantern emblem in the background. Hiding in Asteroids, channeling Deadliest Energy into Spectrum. Yeah, he was channeling it, so he wasn't a real Black Lantern. This is a lengthy one, so I'm going to take it off camera to read it. Jon Stewart can use Steel Energy, but with ranged combat attacks instead of close combat attacks. When an opposing character is KO'd, heal him by 1. If that character was KO'd by Jon Stewart and is a higher point value after action resolves, remove all action tokens from Jon Stewart. Yes, so this, I think, does represent him murdering the living planet, the Green Lantern home. He also has the Sniper of Death. Jon Stewart can use Precision Strike and Range Combat Expert. If the target of his attack isn't adjacent to an opposing character's, damage can't be reduced below 2. That's interesting. So yeah, basically what happened was... I'm trying to remember. I believe something went wrong, and I think the Yellow Lanterns were corrupting the Green Lanterns, and the living planet, I believe his name was Mogo, judging by this card. He is like the home of was the home of the Green Lanterns, kind of, in a way. So he was the one where all the rings would like go out of. So then Jon Stewart took it upon himself to kill Mogo and stop him from like spreading the Yellow Lantern corruption. It was something that I don't really disagree with. I feel like Jon Stewart has the highest ally kill count of any Green Lantern, and I don't really like him for it all that much. There are some times where I think it's justified, but a lot of times Jon Stewart is just a team killer. So we're just going to put him over here in the Black Lantern group, even though he's technically an Indigo Lantern. And that is booster number 1. So let's go ahead and switch back. Nope, that is the wrong camera. You'll think I'll learn that one day. And let's go ahead and take a look at booster number 2. Already starting off strong. Man, I have so many good memories of all of these pieces, all of these storylines. It really makes me want to like go back through and like reread some Green Lantern comics, because it has been like far too long. I haven't been reading a lot of the newer stuff. In my opinion, the stories, like, Green Lantern to me felt like one big story until it ended, basically. Geoff Johns kind of rebooted Green Lantern. Then he did the War of Light, Blackest Night, Brightest Day, and then he did the End storyline, and as far as I'm concerned, the End was the end. So I haven't really read past there, but maybe I'll get back into it, because I'm interested in kind of checking out Joe's stuff. I hear it's all really good. So let's take a look at booster number 2. We have, that is a Star Sapphire recruit, another Black Lantern Reanimate. We have Miri Rian. We have cards blocking the other characters. We have, Rare Prime. We'll get there. We have, what's his face? I just said it, Black Lantern Aquaman. And we have Abin Sur, the Rare Prime. We're going to talk about this guy a lot, because he is very important to the Green Lantern storyline. So let's go ahead and start taking a look at some of the pieces we have not seen. He added new colors again, though. I've heard about Ultraviolet being a new Green Lantern color, kind of the Green Lantern of Shame. I have not heard about anything beyond that too much, so let's try to get everybody in frame. Geez, we're gonna have a lot to talk about here. No, I already seen you. You can go into the pile. And Abin Sur, Rare Prime. This is pretty exciting because back in this day of Heroclix, there were things that were called common and uncommon primes. If you pulled one, you were sad because they were good, but like if you got a common or uncommon prime, a lot of times that like really hurt your chances of getting a chase. Meant you weren't going to get a super rare prime. It was kind of just like feel bad, so they got rid of them. So infrared as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. What have we got here? We will start off with the Star Sapphire Recruit. Let's take a look. So Star Sapphires, they are the emotion of love. I believe for the majority, all of them are female. They were founded by, I believe, a female version of the Guardians after the Guardians decided to go do willpower stuff. The females were like, hey, let's do love stuff instead. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's how it works. They're also a rather angry core, considering that they're the core of love. So let's take a look. What does she do? So we can see Star Sapphire Recruit, loving this theming with these. Man, I haven't really taken a look at the newer Green Lantern stuff. I really hope that they bring back these like background emblems. They were so fun. So Star Sapphire, Minion Star Sapphire, a minion trait. This was kind of they didn't really use this all too much, but honestly, it was kind of the predecessor of the sidekick system, if you're kind of familiar with that. When a friendly character with a Star Sapphire that's 75 points or more within 8 squares modifies her attack by +1. Awesome. Just gives you a benefit for running a theme team, and I think that was super cool. I think Guy's the only Star Sapphire that's male. I think that's correct. He also has a sculpt in one of these 2 boosters where I believe he is both pink and red at the same time, and I love it. Anyway, Star Sapphire Recruit can use Shape Change and the Mystics team ability. Just kind of basic, but overall. Oh, I don't think I rated people from the last booster pack, so if there was anybody I forgot, they got 5 stars because they're cool. Anyway, back to the Star Sapphire Recruit. 45 points. Star Sapphires, they're every kind of Lantern core kind of tends to have like a unique ability. These Star Sapphires, their unique ability is they can encase you in crystals that show you someone that you love, I believe is how that works. Not really represented on this card, but I'm sure we're going to see some Pink Lanterns who do that in the future. So, overall, great. I love the Minion keyword. It's fun. Now we'll move on to a different Pink Lantern, one who I genuinely don't know a lot about. It is Miri Riam. Not even sure if I'm saying that right. Focus. Hello. Focus. There you go. So, don't know who it is. Blue alien, part of the Star Sapphires. Can't tell you anything beyond that. Taking a look, we have no special powers at all. Hey, there's one special power. Love Intensify. So what was cool about this set as well is I kind of said how every Lantern kind of had their own like keyword. These, like, you would also find variants of those keywords. So you can see this one is Love Intensify. Aquaman had like Death, a Watery Grave. It was just such a thematic set, man. Miri Ram can use Shape Change in the Mystics team ability. The first time she uses Shape Change each turn, increase the d6 by 1 for every 100 points of the attacker. Though a roll of 1 automatically misses. So this was very good. I remember this piece now. Pretty expensive for what she does, but like there were a lot of very expensive attackers in this set. For instance, you had Sodomiat. There was also Superboy Prime, I believe, in this set. Just a lot of really expensive like tentpole characters who are really scary to deal with. She would just kind of be a general nuisance, succeeding on like a 5 through or a 2 through 6 with her shape change a lot of the time. It was fun. It's a good character. She doesn't do a lot beyond that. I wouldn't really generally run her unless it was a constructed event. I wish I knew more about her character, but other than that, she's a 5 stars. Taking a look now at our Prime, we have the man himself, Abin Sur. So Abin Sur is basically like the Green Lantern. He is the one whose ring became Hal Jordan's. He was kind of heralded as the greatest Green Lantern of all time until Hal Jordan kind of took over after he died. And he was the one who founded the Indigo Green Lantern Corps, and we'll talk about that in a second. So basically, he also has this construct. We'll talk about that. What was really cool about this set is you had a lot of characters who were designed around these constructs, and they slotted into their base, and I just think that's cool. So let's take a look at his card, and then we'll talk more about him. Construct. When building your force, you can add a construct to it. By paying its point cost, you can pay a little bit more to bump it up to a different construct, or a little bit less to bump it to a different construct as well. Use 50 points. Each time an opposing character would use probability control to reroll an attack against Abensur, immediately modifies defense by -1 until the action resolves. You're asking yourself, why would you ever do this? Like, he's going to die super quick. And the answer was 50 points was insanely cheap back then. This guy, like, pulled his weight hard, so he needed some kind of, like, nerf just to kind of bring him down. So yeah, like I said, Abensur, he was the greatest Green Lantern of all time until he died for reasons that I don't remember. His ring passed on to Hal Jordan, the kind of main Green Lantern now. He went off and did his own thing for a little while, where he found the Compassion Lanterns, the Indigo Lanterns. And basically, the Indigo Lanterns are super interesting because every other lantern, you become a lantern of that corps if you are capable of, like, instilling or feeling that emotion, like, the most. So, for instance, a Black Lantern or a Green Lantern, if you were, like, full of willpower and you could conquer fear, you'd become a Green Lantern. If you were full of love, you would become a Violet Lantern. But a Compassion Lantern, you were chosen if you couldn't feel the emotion. So, like, it went to serial killers, and it actually acted as a prison. So once the ring kind of bonded onto you, it would basically, like, mind control you and make you into a good person. So that's kind of what Abensur did after he kind of moved away from the Guardians a little bit. So the Indigo Lanterns are super interesting. You'll see a lot of villains in there because they're all psychopaths. And the next thing we have is these are the original constructs. So the way that these worked is they basically, you would assign them to a character and it would give them a power. So you can see this gives them barriers of free action, but only to place up to 2 squares of blocking terrain. That was all it did. Had the little construct token. Some characters could start the game with it. The other way of giving these to characters was with, let's move it over here, battery cores. Battery core, Black Lantern battery. Central power batteries, whatever these are called. These were relics, resources that you could get during this set, and basically the way that they worked was super awesome. You would give them a ring of a color, typically the color of the matching the lantern. So for instance, this is a Black Lantern, you would typically give it a Black Lantern ring. Then you could assign out these constructs and give these powers to give these powers to anybody on your team. So for instance, the boxing glove, I want to say, like, gave, like, close combat expert or something like that. You would assign it to a character, so I would assign it to Miri Riam, and then Miri Riam would get the effect of the construct, she would get the effect of the battery, and she would get the effect of the ring. And some of these effects were insanely powerful. Like, basically, if a character had a weakness, you could fill that weakness and more. So, like, the Green Lantern battery, it's the one you got if you participated in the tournaments. So by participating in the tournament, you would get the battery. Like I said, the ring came in a starter pack. You would get a bunch of constructs for it. And the ring gave you willpower and outwit protection on a 50-50. The battery said opponents' free actions were instead power actions. And then you could just give them just whatever power you wanted. Oh, you have a close combat character who needs to do more damage? Give them the scissors for exploit weakness. Or if you have a ranged character who needed to, hit a little harder or hit a little bit more accurately, give him a crossbow for close combat ranged combat expert. You had decoy for shape change. The net gave, like, a smoke cloud, but you had to break away from it. The nurse gave, like, regeneration or support or something. Basically, these things were insane. They cost, like, a good chunk of your team, but they were absolutely worth it. Some of these were disgusting. I think the green one was pretty meta for the time, to be honest. I didn't play a lot of meta tournaments, so anytime I give you, like, an opinion of a Heroclix, it usually isn't from, like, a meta competitive sense. But, like, the Yellow Lantern battery, like the Fear battery, that one gave you, like, Perplex, but Perplex down opposing values. Then if the character targeting you was less points than you were, they would modify their attack by -2. So you would just put around like a 200 point piece and then just never get hit and give them whatever power you needed. Like, they were disgustingly good, and they paired very well with the entities of the matching color. And we will talk more about the entities when we get there. But basically, batteries were disgusting. I'm kind of glad they're gone, but they were super thematic and fun at the time. So this, basically, you could either attach it to a Green Lantern character who asked for a Green Lantern construct, or you could attach it to a battery and then give it out to anybody as they need it. The batteries also had a bunch of powers and stuff that they could use on their own. But they were, like, stupid strong. Also, I just really like this sculpt. So there were a few ways of getting the batteries. After the event, they kind of sold battery packs, which had 2 different batteries and a bunch of different constructs for them, along with their unique construct. So basically, every faction had like a unique construct that came with their battery that you could only get in their battery. For the most part, there were ways of getting it outside that, but we're not going to talk about that right now. One of the ways is getting primes. So for instance, it's probably pretty hard to get bricks in other color, the brick wall in other colors. So yeah, I think I've talked long enough about Ab and Sur and how a lot of these mechanics work. We should see a little bit more of these in the sets. We will definitely see more entities, and hopefully we will see a bunch of rings, because I really want all of the rings. So we'll go ahead and put him next to Sodom Yet. We will make a little... continue this and keep you off camera. And we will switch over to booster number 3. Love to see Superboy. Love to see the Specter still. Black Hand, give me some entities. As you can see, I think there's a good chance that I might end up getting a duplicate entity, but if we're lucky, we might get the Butcher and the Predator, I believe are the 2 I'm still missing. I think in this wave there is the dual figure of Sinestro and Hal Jordan. Oh, please. Give me that piece. I want it so bad. We have a controller. Red Lantern, Hal Jordan. There we go. Oh, Red Lantern booster pack, Red Lantern guy Gardner, and a Cerrick, along with a Miri Ram. So we will take a look. Pop him there. If you have Black Hand, you want Atrocitus. Atrocitus was one of the either participation or victory prizes. I think it was a victory prize for one of the months. Basically, the way that it worked is every month you played, you would get the leader of the corps as a victory prize, and you would get a Green Lantern member as a participation prize. So I believe Atrocitus was the victory prize for one of these months. He's the leader of the Red Lanterns, so we're not going to see him, and I'm not going to be able to talk about him. But just know, Atrocitus is in my mind always. He's a playable character in Injustice, actually. Injustice 2, I believe. So I love to see DC representation, or Green Lantern representation in Injustice. So you can play as Atrocitus. When you play as Atrocitus, you can also see the Butcher, the Red Lantern entity with him, and you can see Dexstar, the best cat in the galaxy. There are our new pieces. It's my main in Injustice. You do have a Dexstar, though. I am so hyped. Dexstar was my favorite piece in this set. I actually was just given one by my friend Jalen for my birthday, which was not too long ago, so I wouldn't hate to get a second one, but I'm super happy that I have one to begin with. He's getting another Dexstar in the Batman Team-Up set coming out soon, and I don't love that Dexstar as much, but honestly, I will take that red cat anywhere he shows up. So let's go ahead and start with the main man, Hal Jordan. So Hal Jordan was the first human Green Lantern. He's not very green currently in this piece. He's a Red Lantern for whatever reason. I don't remember the storyline. But it's our first opportunity to really talk about Red Lanterns. So Hal Jordan, the main human Green Lantern, typically considered the greatest Green Lantern ever. He took place after Ab and Sur died, and he was kind of what kicked off the Green Lantern series. I don't particularly like him very that much. I think he's kind of like a dull, boring character, but no, you know what? If anybody in my comments thinks that Hal Jordan is the best Green Lantern, go ahead and tell me, because I don't think anybody's really pushing that storyline. So we can see the wonderful, I love the Red Lantern emblem, by the way. Kind of looks like a bull, which makes sense, because that is their entity. So we have Rage. Hal Jordan can use poison and deals penetrating damage when using it. This is the staple power for Red Lanterns. He also has Willful Rage. If Hal Jordan is adjacent to a friendly character with a Red Lantern keyword, reading. Hal Jordan and adjacent friendly characters with the Red Lantern keyword can use Willpower. So basically, you can see he's the Green Lantern. He also does some Red Lantern stuff. Don't remember this exact storyline. Gets Battle Fury, though. Look at that symbol. You like Hal more than John or Guy, but he's not your favorite. That's fair. I think that's roughly where I'm at. Kyle for life. Anyway, Red Lanterns are the Lanterns of Rage. They were created after... okay, history lesson. So the Guardians of the Universe are a bunch of little green men who kind of control the Green Lantern Corps, except they're blue. They have been trying to basically control the universe forever. So, like, their first experiment to control the universe, or to create, like, a universal peace force, was the Manhunters, basically robots. Robots did what robots do, and they turned evil, and they murdered all of Sector 666. The sole surviving member of 666 was Atrocitus. He was, like, so outraged by the death of his family, his loved ones, his entire space sector, that he went and he created the Red Lantern Corps, the Lanterns of Rage, basically with the sole intent of taking down the Guardians of the Universe. They play a major role in the Green Lantern animated TV series. If you guys want to check out some Green Lantern stuff, I would highly recommend that. It's not 100% Green Lantern canon, it does kind of its own thing, but it's close enough to the comics where I think you can get a lot of the ideas from it. Plus, it has some really cool characters like Razor, so... anyway, their special thing is when you put on a Red Lantern ring, your blood is replaced with acid, so they spit acid everywhere. Typically, they also cannot create constructs because they are... so, like, constructs are the Green Lantern's thing. They can create stuff out of energy. The Red Lanterns struggle with this because usually they aren't calm enough to be able to create constructs. This was changed a little bit, I think, when Belize eventually did it in one of the comics, and I don't really know how it is since then. This game doesn't care about that lore, though, because everybody can create constructs in this game if you just get some Red Lantern constructs. So I don't think that technically makes lore sense, but I don't know, maybe it's changed in 10 years. This also makes Red Lanterns interesting because since their blood is now acid, yep, just like Osiris said in chat, if you take off your red ring, you die unless you are Supergirl. I didn't actually know that one. I haven't read that storyline where she becomes a Red Lantern, although I do think maybe she is in this set. But yes, your blood becomes acid, which means when you take off your ring, you can no longer support a lack of blood, and you die. There are a few ways around it. For instance, blue lanterns are actually capable of calming your mind, and then they allow you to take off your red ring without dying. Other than that, apparently Supergirl can do it, but I think it's otherwise pretty hard. So, going back to the piece, this is Hal Jordan. He's 80 points. I like him. He doesn't do... I mean, I like that willpower, especially nowadays. That willpower is a lot stronger than it used to be, in my opinion. And I'm sad that I know for sure that the newer Red Lanterns don't have this penetrating poison anymore. And that's so sad for me, because that feels so iconic for these Red Lantern pieces to have that penetrating poison, so... I don't know. Anyway, I like this piece. We need a new Red Lantern pile. He's gonna go here. Next up, we have Gardner. Red Lantern Corps. Fury Unleashed. Gardner can use Charge, Flurry, and Sidestep. That is a brutal assortment of powers. He can also use Poison, but deals penetrating damage when using it, just kind of the basic level Poison, and no particular special powers in the back. For 88 points, I remember him being a close combat monster. Let's see if that's true by today's standards at all. So he starts off with a 12 attack, geez. Like, nowadays, 12 attack isn't that much, but basically, a 12 attack is like the equivalent of a 13 attack nowadays. So that is, like, unheard of. So with that flurry, with that charge, with that sidestep, he is just gonna, like, charge in and just, like, ruin somebody's day, effectively. Yeah, nowadays, 12 is just kind of decent. It's good. It's fine. You can see his defenses aren't all that great later in his dial. He gets that poison, but he keeps this flurry sidestep for, like, quite a long time, eventually going to Blade's Claws and then dying. Blade's Claws and Exploit, actually. So yeah, actually, this piece, like, seems really insane for the time. Not a lot of reducers, but I don't think reducers were as prevalent back then. Don't quote me on that. Overall, that's a wonderful piece. You get a 5 stars. Finally, we get Salic? Yeah, Salic. Salic is the Green Lantern admin, basically. He's constantly watching like security cameras, making sure everything's okay. Represented here with some wonderful like panels in the background that he's kind of flipping through their constructs. 9 range, that is a lot of range. Let's see what he can do. Salic, Will, second in command. I believe the only one above him was the Guardians, I suppose. He can use willpower and leadership as if he were 300 points. When an opposing character targets Salic with Outward or Perplex on a d6, 50-50, ignore it. He also has Perplex as a movement ability, which is a little strange, but we'll ignore it. And that is it. So basically, just that insane range. He doesn't do much in the comics. Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember he mostly just like frowns upon Hal Jordan whenever he does something that the Guardians don't like. So yeah, basically you're just going to be using that 9 range probability control, telekinesis, and perplex, and you're just going to be like a nuisance from the background. He has 125 points. That is pretty expensive for what you're getting. I think even back then that was kind of expensive. But I think that 9 range can do a lot of support work, so especially in higher point games, maybe not. I don't know. He's getting 5 stars because I like the sculpt. It's actually another one that my friend Jalen gave me for my birthday, so I actually have 2 of them. And that is all for this booster. We're starting to make some headway now that we're seeing more of these pieces. Still waiting on our chase. I don't believe we've gotten any super rares yet. Nope, doesn't look like it. So we're still waiting on 3 super rares. Do have our prime, though, so that's a pretty good start. Let's see who we have here, as my camera somehow got a little tilted. We have... I see our first ring. So first of all, we have a Black Lantern Abensur. We have Violet Lantern Guy Gardner. We have the Violet Lantern Ring. We also have another Sodom Yat, a Sornik Natu, and a Controller. So honestly, still no super rares, but like the pieces we're getting in their place are pretty sick. I'm excited to see our first ring. Whoops, dropped it on the floor. Put the ring there. So, taking a look. Sornik Natu. Controller. Sodom Yat. Guy Gardner as pink this time. And Black Lantern Abensur. So, let's go ahead and talk about Sornik Natu first. So, Sornik Natu. She is a Green Lantern. She is also notable for being Sinestro's daughter. So, Sinestro, one of the best Green Lanterns of all time, until that time he turned evil and became a Yellow Lantern. Okay, to be fair... Oh, I don't even have the camera on the right place. Oh my goodness. Professional. There we go, as I were. Sornik Natu, Sinestro's daughter. Sinestro basically was a great Green Lantern until he decided that the Green Lantern light wasn't strong enough. So he switched over to the Yellow Light of Fear and founded the Sinestro Corps, which are basically a bunch of like thugs and like monsters who just scare people into doing stuff. He's not like technically like outright evil, but he's also like not particularly a good guy. He flip-flops between being a good guy and a bad guy a whole lot, depending on kind of what state he kind of feels like. And this is his daughter, and he does some stuff to protect her. And also, there is a slight wear on the very tips of her chest, and that is comedic. So let's go ahead and take a look at what she does. Tangled Lives, opposing characters named Sinestro modify their combat values by -1 if not already modified by this effect. When Sornik Natu is adjacent to a character named Kyle Rayner, they both modify their attack by +1 if not already modified by this effect. So a good way to shut off Sinestros, and a good way to power up your own Kyle Rayners, which is what you want to do, because I love me some Kyle Rayners. I don't really know if her and Kyle Rayner have a connection. It seems like maybe they're in a kind of relationship, but I'm not sure. Other than that, we have Will, which is the base willpower trait. She gets willpower and 50-50 for Outwit or Perplex ignoring. Battlefield Medic. She can use telekinesis and support. When she uses telekinesis and places a friendly character adjacent to her, she can use support as a free action, but only to heal that character. That is actually a really good power, because basically, support is a power we don't see a whole lot. Maybe other people use it more than I do, but I don't typically use it very much. You cannot use support to heal a character if you or them are adjacent to an opposing character, so you have to be on your own far away. So with her, you can kind of just like keep her far back, and then pull a character like next to her and then heal them if you need to. That's actually really cool. And that's all she has. 70 points. I like the fact that she boosts Kyle Rayner's, so we're going to give her 5 stars. Moving on, we've already seen the collectors, so we will go ahead and take a look at Pink Lantern Guy Gardner. He's pink, right? Yeah. So let's take a look at the sculpt. We can see it is just, even then, like, it's the same kind of base sculpt as the other one, but you can see this one, he's kind of wearing, like, his jacket. But if we compare it to this one, like, it's just, like, different paint. I don't know. Like, they did more than just slightly recolor them. Like, you can actually see, like, the logos on the chest a little bit. Like, I don't think it's the clearest there, but, like, this one you can absolutely see, like, that violet kind of logo there. It's just really fun, really cool seeing, like, these different iterations of the same characters. Guy Gardner, he was the 2nd or 3rd Green Lantern. He has always kind of been a little bit brash, a little bit kind of, fights, what is the term? Fight first, questions later kind of guy. I can't think of the term right now, don't judge me. So honestly, he kind of fits as a Red Lantern more. I think most of his Heroclix incarnations have been Red Lanterns. I don't know his current state in the comics, but I think he's better fitted to be a Red Lantern in my opinion. Star-Crossed Duo. When a friendly character named Ice is adjacent to Guy Gardner, they both modify their attack and defense by +1 if not already modified by this effect. That is very good. Apparently Guy was a Teen Titan. I actually didn't know that at all. He doesn't have he has Justice League here, but he doesn't have Teen Titans. That's interesting. Oh no, Kyle was a Teen Titan. I actually didn't know that either. And we have Love here. It's always complicated. Guy Gardner can use Shape Change and Mystics. When he uses Mystics, characters possessing a special power are dealt 2 unavoidable damage instead. This is one of those powers that accidentally got stronger with new rules. So nowadays, back in my day, Mystics used to do unavoidable damage. Nowadays, it does penetrating damage. However, because this specifically says 2 unavoidable damage, it means that you would deal 2 unavoidable damage even if you play him with current rules. So that's kind of funny. 103 points. Man, I hated how they did points back in the day, though. I love the round numbers, and I hate 103. But yeah, overall, very cool. I can imagine him being, again, very scary if you compare him with Ice. I don't think I've ever heard of Ice, so I don't know if she's in this set, or if I just don't remember, or if it's a she at all. So if you do that, it bumps him up to, focus, a 1018 with Energy Shield. So, or sorry, an 1118. So that's actually, like, that's not bad, even for today's standards. Like, that's not the worst. It's not great for today, but 8 range is actually really good too. So you know what? I actually really like this piece. There might be a world in which this piece is still, like, really, like, strong in today's meta, so that's funny. Then, let's move on to Black Lantern Abin Sur. So, as we can see, this is another variant. This one isn't the Prime, though, so you can actually see that he doesn't have the base for the constructs, because this one does not support the constructs. Like I said, Abin Sur died, and then Green Lantern kind of took over. Hal Jordan, sorry. And because he was dead, he was prime fodder to become a Black Lantern during the Blackest Night event. So I think he was the one who predicted the Blackest Night event. I could be wrong on that, but I think he was, like, very wary of it. You are now the worthy successor, Jordan. Opposing characters that did not begin the game on the map modify their combat values by -2 when targeting or being targeted by Abin Sur. Very good for any kind of spawning deck. Bystanders right now, especially with Exo Swords, there's a lot of them. I never destroyed the core in my arrogance. Abin Sur can use Toughness. If an opposing character has attacked Abin Sur and missed, he can use Invulnerability instead. If an opposing character has attacked Abin Sur and rolled a critical miss, he can use Impervious. That is a fun ability. You don't see stuff like that anymore. I don't know if it's good, but it's fun. Kind of encourages you, like, not to attack him a whole lot in a single turn. Vulnerability instead. Opposing character has an attacked Abin Sur and missed. So I actually don't see any like limitations on this ability. So as far as I'm concerned, if you ever miss him, he gets invulnerability until he loses this power. That is genuinely a lot of fun. I've never seen a power like that in recent sets. That's super cool. Osiris said, is Alan Scott in this set? So those of you who don't know, Alan Scott was the official first Green Lantern. That was back when Green Lantern didn't really have the same identity that it does now. He was a human who forged a ring out of a magical meteorite. He could do some magic stuff, and he was weak to wood in the color yellow. He eventually was rebooted as kind of a more modern Green Lantern with the kind of Geoff Johns reboot of Green Lantern. I do not think he's in this set, but don't quote me on that. We've definitely gotten some Alan Scott Heroclix for sure. I'm not sure if he's in this set specifically. Anyway, as for Avid Sir, he also has probs, so that's actually like, man, this is a fun piece. This is a cool piece. He doesn't have Steel Energy at all, which is interesting for a Black Lantern piece, but I like his defense power enough to where I don't care. So 5 stars for everyone in that pack, because they're all cool. Last but definitely not least, we have our ring. This is the Star Sapphire Relic. It gives you the basic love ability. If you already have the Star Sapphire keyword, modify all combat values except damage by +1. Otherwise, you get the Star Sapphire keyword, the Mystic Steve ability, you can use Shape Change. So just like, basically it just gives you the basic version, except if you already have the keyword, it buffs you. And that's super important for some broken combos. Like I said, this is officially a relic. That is a thing we don't have in Heroclix anymore. Basically, they worked like equipment objects, except you had to roll as a power action to pick them up, and you had to roll a 5 or a 6. In my opinion, that made them far too slow to ever be used. I don't know, maybe there were some situations where some very niche relics were used. God, I have fat fingers. Where some relics were used, but as far as I know, just wasn't really good ever. But what made them good was, like I said, if you put a ring into a battery, you get that ring's effect by putting these constructs on them. So you can give yourself shape change and mystics, like, free. And the important part is, it said if you already had the keyword, buff them by +1 stats. And we're going to spoil a little thing now. The little thing is, if these entities... Oops, there goes his wing again. These entities give you the keyword of the Green Lantern, or the Lantern Corps that they're a part of. So, for instance, if I put this onto, let's say, we'll just put it onto a Black Lantern Aquaman, he becomes a Green Lantern. So then if I then go ahead and also put a green ring on him, because he already has the Green Lantern keyword from Ion, he gets +1 to all of his stats. And that is dumb. It allows you to buff characters that shouldn't be buffed. It allows you to buff characters that should be buffed. It was a whole lot of disgusting buffs. There was +3s everywhere in this era. There was such a huge power spike with Heroclix in this time, but it was fine. It was super fun. I never really had a huge problem with it, personally. Well, I didn't play competitively. I'm sure if you played like competitively and you were like constantly going against entity battery teams, you might feel a little bit differently than I did, but I didn't have that play experience, so... Black Lantern. Yeah, you wouldn't use them unless they count as equipment now, which hopefully they do. Yes, new equipment rules coming in Batman Team Up. I'm super excited about them. I think they might be broken, but I think they might be fun as well. So... we're halfway through our first one. I should probably go a little bit faster, but honestly, I'm just kind of enjoying, like, gushing about how much I love the Green Lantern property, to be honest, and, like, reliving, like, my favorite era in Heroclix, so I hope you guys don't mind. But as for this booster, we have... oh, we have our first super rare. That is, either Gallius Zed or Zelias Zox. I do not remember. We also have a girl whose name I don't know, and I'm going to cheat. That is Matui. We have, that's Indigo 1. No, that's not Indigo 1, that's Monk. My bad. Another Sornik Natu, and we have Rancor. Awesome, another Red Lantern. So, a lot of new pieces in this booster, and our first super rare. Whoops, and I already broke one. Okay. For future reference, if you get one of the head people, don't just pop them out super aggressively, because they will just break. Matui. Monk, who is the second in command of the Indigo Lanterns. Sornik Natu, we've already seen. I'll throw her back there. And another Red Lantern, we have Rancor. So let's go ahead and take a look at Rancor. He is another Red Lantern who I don't really know a lot about, to be honest. I do know that he has flaming hair like Chandra. So really fun sculpt. Just don't know anything about him. Rancor, he is a Red Lantern core. He has Rage, the basic version that does poison. And he has Controlled Rage. Give Rancor a free action and choose one. He can use Battle Fury, Blade's Claws, or he can use Precision Strike. That's interesting. So you can kind of like pick which one you might want. I don't know in what situation you wouldn't take Blade's Claws Fangs, but hey, I guess there might be situations in which you wouldn't take Blade's Claws Fangs. I don't know. Overall, I really like this sculpt. That's what I think overall. Focus. Yeah, not a whole lot to say. You guys already know the history of Red Lanterns. They spit poison or acid. Hey, get over there with the pinks. And actually, as we move on to Monk, he is actually our first true Indigo Lantern. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this sculpt. As you can see, he has that kind of staff that acts as their ring. It allows them to channel the energy of other cores. He is also dressed very squalidly. I think that is kind of a running theme with the Indigo Lanterns, is they don't really dress themselves up, because frankly, they're being mind-controlled by their rings anyway. Let's take a look. So, Compassion. When a non-adjacent friendly character within 3 squares takes 3 or more damage after action resolves, if that character hasn't been healed this turn, you may place Monk adjacent to that character and heal them with 1 damage. So basically like a once per turn reducer. I don't love it. He also has the New Guardians, part of the Kyle Rayner run. Super loved that storyline. Indigo 2. Monk can use Close Combat Expert and Leadership. When he uses Leadership and succeeds, friendly characters adjacent when this action was given can use Close Combat Expert this turn. That is very strong, I think. Is that very strong? It's okay. I kind of like it. It's fun. Overall, how do I feel about him? He's 85 points. Phasing Teleport. Can't carry anybody. I do like that, though. He's a new Guardian, so I'm going to give him points. Basically, what the new Guardians were is... I'm going to try to remember the exact context, but a member of every Lantern Corps kind of got together, and they decided that they would replace the Guardians of the Galaxy, because I think at this point the Guardians of the Galaxy were dead. I don't remember. And he was one of them, and Kyle Rayner was also kind of a big part of kind of forming that team, and I love me some Kyle Rayner, so yeah, he gets 5 stars. He's also a horrible, murdering psychopath, I'm sure, when he doesn't have his ring on, because that's what the Indigo ring does. I did not create enough space for another core. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Cat Matui. Guardians of the Universe. Sorry, did I say Guardians of the Galaxy? I do that a lot. Another character kind of looks a lot like Sornig Natu. I don't know anything about her. I do like the... considering that the designers only have, 2 colors to work with when designing Green Lantern outfits, I like how varied all of them are. So... Cat Matui, she has Recruited by the Mosaic, don't know what that is. When Cat Matui is adjacent to a friendly character named Jon Stewart, they can both use support, but only to heal each other. That's pretty solid. She can use Willpower when an opposing character named it's just basic Willpower. The basic kind of will trait. 117 points. Master of the most powerful weapon in the universe. Sinestro fears my might. Replacement for Sinestro. I feel like I should know who this character is. Leader of the rebellion against Sinestro. I don't even know. I wonder... So when Sinestro became the leader of the Sinestro Corps, he went and he kind of took over his home planet as kind of the Sinestro Corps base-ish. I wonder if she is just a rebellion on that planet who is fighting against Sinestro's rule. That would explain why she is kind of the same color of red as the rest of them, but I'm not sure. Apparently, her first significant appearance was in 1964. No idea. I didn't even know the Green Lanterns were reinvented that early. Anyway, I'm going to have to check that character out, because I would like to know more about her, because I just like anything kind of tied to Sinestro. And last up, we have, is it Gallius Zed or Zelias Zox? It is Gallius Zed. So there's basically, for some reason, a big... there's 4 different head characters. This is one of them. I believe he is normally a red... No. He's normally a Green Lantern, then I believe he died, and like everybody who died, was reincarnated as a Black Lantern. Really fun sculpt, though. So let's go ahead and take a look at what he does. We have Death Encompassing. He can use Steel Energy. When opposing character is KO'd, heal him of 1 damage. He begins the game on click 3, and he can use this trait to heal past his starting line. Oh, so he's a Vampire Dial. That's fun. I always like Vampire Dials. He also has Despair of the Green Lanterns. When an opposing character rolls for Leadership, Shape Change, or Super Senses, and the result is 1 through 4, modify his combat values by +1 until the end of your next turn. If that character is the Green Lantern Corps keyword, modify their combat values by -1 until the next turn. That is a really fun trait. That's really cool. 150 points. I never liked you anyway, Jordan. Ceranic Netu. I didn't even read it. I always thought it was Sornic Netu. Ceranic Netu. Anyway, he seems really cool. Let's kind of take a look at what his vampire kind of does for him, because I always like these vampire dials. They're like super hard to play a lot of the time because they just get slapped down really early, but they're fun if you can like make them work. So that's where he starts, and then you can kind of pop up here and here. It's crazy that this, like, the top of his vampire dial is just what a 150 point character would look like nowadays. That is like okay stats for a 150 point character. That's funny. But back then, that is really scary stats. That would be really threatening to have to deal with, especially if anybody dies, he can heal up. He doesn't even have to kill him. So, yeah, overall, super cool piece, man. The Black Lanterns got a lot of love, considering they were only in one storyline. See if we can keep him in frame, and that is our first super rare. Booster number 6. Hopefully these are starting to go a little bit faster as we kind of make our way through more and more boosters. Let's see. We have... oh, Black Lantern Firestorm. Arkilo, that doesn't sound right. Kilowog, my bad. We also have another Ceranic Netu. Ooh, the Red Lantern Ring. A Indigo Recruit, and something the Red Lantern Ring is hiding. It is a Star Sapphire Recruit. Awesome. Love to see more rings. I believe that puts us at half of the rings maybe in this set. So Red Lantern Ring, this one is glossy, and I love the Red Lantern Ring. This is probably like my favorite design. Like, I really like the Red Lanterns. We can keep this ring on set too. So, got 3 new pieces here. We have the Indigo Recruit. Don't worry, he's still a sociopath. Just gonna start leaving all of the characters who we already have duplicates of off camera because I'm quickly running out of room. We have Arkilo, kind of the Green Lantern training officer. Bought a big light up Red Lantern ring, that would be so fun. And our rare is Firestorm, Black Lantern Firestorm. And I'll throw these guys out of the way. So let's go ahead and start by taking a look at the Recruit. Probably not too much going on there if I had to guess. Indigo Tribe Recruit. It is one of my favorite sculpts in this set just because it is a bat. You can see kind of dressed modestly like you would expect. He has the Indigo kind of mind-controlling staff. Let's see what he does. I imagine probably a Minion trait and a basic Compassion trait. Yep. Minion Indigo Tribe, when he's within 8 squares of a friendly character that's more expensive with the Indigo Tribe keyword, increases defense by +1. Compassion, when a non-adjacent friendly character within 6 squares takes 3 or more damage. After action resolves, that character hasn't been healed. Place him next to him and heal him 1. Kind of what you'd expect for a 40-point cheap character at this age. Nothing too special, but I love the fact that he's a bat. It's a fun sculpt, man. They were creative with this one. I don't know if this has any reference to like a specific bat character in the comics, but I like that their generic is just a bat. There you go. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Arkilo. So Arkilo is one of the kind of big Green Lantern characters. If you guys have seen the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie, he is in that as well. He is kind of the training officer for the Green Lantern Corps. So we have Kilowog, sorry. Arkilo is like the Sinestro Corps equivalent. I always get their names wrong. Kilowog. He has Will, Drill Sergeant. He can use close combat reflexes and willpower. When an opposing character targets him without wit, 50-50, ignore the effect. He has the Transporter flight symbol. Haven't seen that in a while. What's really annoying is the Green Lanterns have a team ability, but like none of them have the team ability in this set. This is where it would go. Come on, Poozers. That was what he called kind of the recruits. Kilowog can use Perplex, but may only target other characters with the Green Lantern Core keyword. So I imagine 140 points. I think he's just a really chunky, like, attack character. Yep, kind of just close combat stats, some Empower because he's a training sergeant. Flurry at the end there. Just a fun character. Like, I really like Kilowog and his appearances. I even like him in the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern movie. I said it. Is not great as that movie was. I think they did a really good job with Kilowog. Put him back there. Kind of unbalanced. Put him there. Moving on to the last main piece in the set, we have Firestorm as a Black Lantern. Firestorm is another character you may be familiar with in his other roles. I think he is also in Injustice. Is that true? I believe he's in Injustice too. Basically, from my understanding, I'm not super familiar, he is like two people fuse and like he can recreate the molecules of anything he knows, like chemistry wise. So like if he knows that like salt is like sodium chloride, he can like make it or something. So he uses that to like make fireballs and stuff. I'm not super familiar. I think he's a really cool character. I just don't know a lot about him. And of course, like a lot of other characters at DC at this time, he died. Yes, he's in the second game, and the Legends of Tomorrow. Oh, and the Flash. So there you go. Maybe people are familiar with him. So yes, he died at this point. He came back to life as a Black Lantern. I don't quite know how that works, considering he's two people, but whatever. He's a Black Lantern now. You'll be my new nerd brain. If Firestorm KO'd an opposing character 75 points or more this game, he can use that wit. That's fun. Probably a little hard to pull off, but fun. This is going to be so boss. Firestorm can use Running Shot and Stealth. And no Steel Energy. Oh, no, there it is. Firestorm can use Steel Energy with close and ranged attacks. When an opposing character is KO'd, heal him of 1. If Firestorm is healed either this way, he can use Perplex and Probability Control this turn. That's very strong. I wish that was a little bit more reliable. Even back then, KOing people wasn't like the most common thing. Maybe it's a little bit more common now with bigger teams. But I imagine at 140 points, he's probably a little expensive to run now. But either way, it's a really cool sculpt. I like Firestorm. Very cool. Just tons of Black Lantern love, just overflowing of Black Lantern love. Finally, we have the Ring, which is, again, it's going to give you the Red Lantern Core keyword. It's going to modify all your combat values by +1 if you already have that keyword. And it also, if you don't have it, is going to let you do poison and deal penetrating damage when using it. That's actually really strong, too, because a lot of the time, the Red Lanterns who have poison and deal penetrating damage, they don't have it through their entire dial. So if you give this to a character and they aren't a Red Lantern already, it actually gives them that poison through the entire dial. And like I said, if you put it on a battery pack, then everybody gets it, and you just go wild with poison. You just kill everybody in like a turn. I don't know. That was that booster. We're finally starting to tear through them. Watch as I go through the wrong slides. We're still waiting on 2 super rares and a chase. I believe, normally if I saw a rare prime, I would be concerned that there wouldn't be a chase, but I believe because this was a storyline event, I believe every brick has a chase. So, this booster, we have the cat. We got the best cat. We're good. We don't need anything else. We have Miri Riam. We have a Red Lantern Liara. We have is that a Black Lantern Hal Jordan and a Red Lantern Recruit. Awesome. We got a cat, and the thing is, I just said I got a cat for my birthday. I don't even care. I'm going to run an army of Deck Stars. I'm going to go ham on my, like, explanation of Deck Star lore. Even though there's, like, not an infinite amount of Deck Star lore to even go over. Hal Jordan, because, of course, he's been every Lantern Corps under the sun. Liara, who I don't remember a lot about, to be honest. Another Miri Riam, who's getting thrown to the side. And we got the cat! Yes. Deck Star. Whoops. The best character. Yes. Okay, so we will go ahead and start with the recruit, because I don't think he's going to do a whole lot. I can open this up. So, let's take a look. Here he is. Another one of the just like awesome like generic sculpts. He's got like this like goat skull head is like an alien, just like really cool. We have Minion Red Lantern Core. He gets an attack by +1 if he's near a Red Lantern. He also has the generic Rage, giving him penetrating poison. I remember him being like kind of scary, but also kind of squishy for 50 points. But I absolutely love that sculpt. Moving from there, we have Liara as a Red Lantern. Normally, she is a Green Lantern. Something or other happened where she wore a Red Lantern ring for a little while. I don't remember what she was mad at. I don't really remember her character that much. Focus. There you go. She's another one who has a Prime in this set. As a Green Lantern, I believe. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we won't. They murdered Kehan and his family. Well, I think I know why she decided to be a Red Lantern for a little while. When an opposing character has the Sinestro core keyword, Liara modifies their combat values by +1 and can use Battle Fury. Very strong in sealed games, but even not that strong in sealed games because Yellow Lanterns aren't in this set, like this wave. So not that reliable to trigger, but it's good if you can get it. Poison, penetrating damage when using it, blinded by rage, and nothing else too much. So interesting. I wish I knew more about her character to kind of tell you some more lore about her. I just don't remember. It's been a long time. Moving on from there, we have the main man in a new outfit. It is Hal Jordan as a Black Lantern. He has a green ring right there. I wonder what he was doing. Is he dual wielding in this situation? I don't remember. He is another one who was not truly dead at this point. I think he was using a Black Lantern ring to achieve whatever his goal was at the time. Maybe it was to kill Necron. I don't remember. It's been a long time. We have nothing too special, just the generic death thing, which lets him get steal energy, but also heal if a character dies. He also has willful death. Jason-friendly characters with the Black Lantern keyword can use willpower, so kind of the same thing we saw for the red. He doesn't seem like game-changing in any particular way, but I could see maybe... he's kind of expensive even at that. I don't know. His sculpt is pretty cool, though, so he gets 5 stars. After that, we got the cat, Dexstar. So Dexstar is literally just a normal Earth cat. Focus. What happened was his master died. I think his master was murdered, I believe. So then the Red Ring found him because he was so enraged, and it actually wrapped itself around his tail. And now he's like Atrocitus's cat, and he's just a little rage cat full of acid. And I love this character. Super fun. Let's take a look, because this character is a monster. He's Animal Red Lantern Core. He's Adorable Fiend. He can use Shape Change and Super Senses. He has Rage, Nimble, and Fierce. He can use Sidestep and Poison and deals penetrating damage. And he also has... he's tiny, which makes him harder to hit at range. He also has Blood in Your Eyes, long trait, so I'm going to read it away from the camera. Dexstar can use Battle Fury, Blades, Claws, Fangs. When he uses Blades, Claws, Fangs, give the hit character a blinded token as long as Dexstar is on the map. When a character with a blinded token makes an attack, roll a d6 for each possible target, including friendly characters. The character with the lowest result becomes the target of the attack and ignores Shape Change. So he will just hand out some blinded tokens. I think that is a little bit lower on his dial, but like Jay said, is that a cat? Yes, this is a Red Lantern cat. A cat that is so blinded by rage that it became a Red Lantern, and now its blood is filled with acid. One of my favorite characters, Dexstar. Its normal name, I think, is just Dexter the cat. And it's like, this was only like 65 points. Like, it had so much defense back in the day. I put Ion on it because I'm mean, and I gave it like Impervious and boosted all of its combat values, and I got so much value out of this cat. I'm super excited to have more of them. I cannot wait to play this piece again. This is probably my favorite piece in the entire set. Like, I cannot stress how excited I am to see Dexstar coming out in the new Batman set. So we'll put Dexstar with the Red Lantern Core, and we will move on. Oops, wrong camera again. So we're still missing 2 super rares and a chase. Hopefully we'll see them now. I think this had a relatively normal set distribution. We will find out. So we are looking at a Red Lantern Recruit. We have Indigo Recruit. We have Monk. We have same Liara. And we have the super rare Sinestro as the Indigo Lantern. Very excited to see this. This is one of my favorite sculpts in the set. I feel like I've said that a lot, but to be honest, I cannot stress enough how much I absolutely love this set. So the only new thing here is the Sinestro, but that is absolutely okay. Because look at this piece. Oh my god. So as I said, Sinestro has been a villain a lot. Eventually, he gets hunted down by the Indigo Ring, and he becomes a good guy for a little while, forcibly, because again, the Indigo Ring is like a prison. Just what an incredible sculpt. This is that's the centerpiece of this set. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's take a look at what he does. So we have Sinestro as an Indigo tribe. He has Seeking Forgiveness for your sins. When a friendly character takes damage from an attack after resolutions, give the attacking character an action token. That is annoying. Compassion Redemption, because he doesn't even need line of sight for that. If he's on the map, you get that ability. Compassion Redemption. When a non-adjacent friendly character within 6 squares takes damage after resolutions, if that character hasn't been healed, place Sinestro adjacent to that character, heal them with damage. That character can't be attacked this turn, even if this power is lost. That is, by far, the best of these compassion skills that we've seen so far. Looking on the back, nothing else. Overall, he seems like a solid support piece. He's pretty expensive for that kind of support price. But, who even cares? Have you seen this sculpt? This is, that's so cool. I love this piece so much. That's so awesome. We don't really have a big Indigo area. I guess you're going to go here, then. And that's all for that pack, because we've seen everything else in it. We've kind of got to that point where I think we've seen the majority of the commons and uncommons. So we are still looking for a chase and one more super rare, I believe. Let's get Superboy Prime. That seems fine. We have Red Lantern Recruit. Let's just get these cards out of the way before they spoil anything. We have a missing piece here. That's interesting. We have it was an Indigo. It's an Indigo Recruit. That's why it's not in there. We have Rancor. We have Arquilo, and we got the dual piece. Probably, arguably, my number one wanted piece in this set, and also the only piece we haven't seen, so we can just skip right to it. I know it's not the most valuable piece in the set, but I absolutely this sculpt is going on my shelf, and it's never leaving. So it is the Hal Jordan Sinestro super rare. This dual piece. That is so cool. Again, like I said, Hal Jordan is the main Green Lantern, and then you have Sinestro, who kind of flips back and forth between being a Green Lantern and a Yellow Lantern. Just super awesome, man. That's such a cool piece. I'm super happy about this one. Oops, a dog is about to jump into my lap. Also, this is a 10 range. He is a double attacking character. Those don't exist anymore, but we'll see if his rules specifically mention it. Hello, my jingly little dog. As he just plows his way through boxes. Let's take a look at this card. Oh my god, look at those special powers. Hal Jordan Sinestro. If you only play him at 100 points, you get Hal Jordan or Sinestro, and they only get the single target. Why would you ever play them at anything other than 300 points, though? Will, the best of the best. Hal Jordan and Sinestro can use willpower when an opposing character targets them. They get 50-50. Oh, no, it's more than 50-50. It's 3 through 6 to ignore the effect. They also have, this is my personal space, back off. They can use running shot. When they do, they can use the duo attack ability instead of a ranged action, but the second attack can't target the same character as the first attack. Jalen, you missed the poll. Basically, we got the piece that I was looking forward to most in this set. This duo Hal Jordan Sinestro piece that I'm dying here. This piece is gorgeous. Anyway, the duo attack was a thing that used to exist. Basically, you would have duo characters with this duo symbol. Basically, it would let you do multiple attacks on the same turn. I don't remember exactly how it works, but basically, if I had to play them nowadays, I would just say, make a second attack. Plus, back then, there used to be a thing called, it was like damage reduction, like multi-attack damage reduction. So if you could attack multiple times in a turn, you would lose damage every time you did it. But now that rule is gone, so frankly, attack as much as you want in a single turn, it doesn't matter. Only limited by your imagination. At the beginning of your turn, Hal Jordan and Sinestro may choose a standard attack power they didn't choose last turn and can use that power until the end of your turn. Oh my god, that's good. I just like... Oh, I'm so happy. And then you can see there also used to be rules for duo characters about splitting into different characters. So you could see that you could replace this duo piece with separate Green Lanterns and Sinestros. But again, I never really played with like duo pieces a whole lot, so I don't know how good it was. But just like, look at this sculpt, man. That's so cool. This is the super rare I wanted the most in this entire set. I'm so happy that we got that. Moving on to the last pull of Brick 1, you can see we're basically kind of just like tearing through these now. As we've seen, I think, probably every common, uncommon. So, I think this should be a chase. I think we are guaranteed a chase in a brick. I don't know for sure, though, and that concerns me. So, let's find out. We have... I think that is Indigo Jon Stewart now. We have, I don't remember your name. Your name is Cerrick. We have Rancor. We have a Black Lantern ring. We have something broken. And we have, as a controller. Oh, we got the Black Lantern ring, but there's no chase in here. Huh. Well, that's kind of a bummer. I really thought this was guaranteed chases in these bricks. Huh. Well, we did get the Black Lantern ring, so we'll take a look at that. We also have Indigo Jon Stewart. So we're up to... Oh, it's the Indigo ring. It's not the black ring. So we have 3 out of the 4 rings. 5 rings? Yeah, there would be 5 rings in this one, wouldn't there? So we're making our way. A little disappointed that we didn't get a chase, but we can't be too mad. We did get the super rare that I wanted the most. Here is that Jon Stewart. You can see it's the same sculpt with his gun rifle. Again, this wasn't a true Indigo Lantern. He got a deputy ring for something or other, so he wasn't actually mind-controlled during this, so don't freak out if you're like a huge Jon Stewart fan and want to know why he was in the Indigo tribe. We also have Cerrick. I don't know a lot about him, but I do remember that piece, so I wonder if he does good things. So, taking a look at our rare, because that's the only thing we really have to look at. Jon Stewart as an Indigo Lantern. He has Compassion, a quick end. Oh my god, even this one is about Jon Stewart killing people. I don't like Jon Stewart. When an adjacent friendly character, or when a non-adjacent friendly character within 3 squares takes damage after resolutions, if it hasn't been healed, place it next to Jon Stewart and heal that character of 1 damage. Okay, so he actually pulls them to him and heals them. I don't really know what that has to do with a quick end, other than the fact that Jon Stewart really loves murdering teammates. Nothing else beyond that. I will point out he has the Marksman ability. I don't know why they got rid of Marksman. Basically what it is you can make ranged attacks against adjacent characters. So he can use like Energy Explosion, Penetrating Psychic against adjacent people. I don't know why they got rid of it. Now you have like targeting adjacent, but frankly it does the same thing as... I don't know. I guess... I don't know. I guess it doesn't need to be a thing now. We also have the Indigo Ring, which gives Compassion. Basically, like all the other ones, it gives you the Indigo Tribe keyword. If you already have it, modify all your combat values by +1. If you don't, if a friendly character within 8 squares is dealt damage, you can put them adjacent to you and heal 1. Wow. Also worth noting that these ones are double-sided. This one is technically the ring that goes into the battery. This one is the relic, so that doesn't really matter. I just thought I would tell you. Anyway, that is the end of our first booster pack. Got our first brick. Got a wonderful assortment of super rares there, but I'm pretty disappointed that we didn't get a chase. So hopefully we will make up for that in this one by getting 2 chases. I wonder if the rare prime killed our likelihood of getting a chase. I don't know. Hopefully that is not the case, because I would like to get both primes and chases. So, here, let's see if we get anything new. I think we're kind of seen a lot of this set already. We have a controller, Black Lantern Hal Jordan. Oh, I did not look at Cerrick, my bad. Arkilo and Belize. Awesome. So we will take a look at Cerrick, and we will take a look at Belize, since frankly I forgot to look at Cerrick last time. My bad, Cerrick. So, we have Cerrick right here. Again, I kind of showed his sculpt before, but again, I didn't show his card. Oops, I didn't even switch to the right camera. There we go. Or maybe I did. Maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. So, Cerrick, he has basic willpower, and that is it. Oh, no. Cerrick, learn from the dead. Oh yeah, he's... I don't remember exactly what he can do, but yeah. He can, like, talk to the dead or something. Outwit, when he does, Cerrick from the characters adjacent can modify their combat values by +1, if depending on what you countered. That is actually a pretty cool Outwit. So overall, he seems like a pretty good support piece. I like that Outwit power. Awakening the Black Battery. Okay, I wonder if he has something to do with Blackest Night then. I wonder if he is part of the reason that the Black Lanterns took over. I don't fully know, to be honest. Interesting. I'm gonna have to do some research on that character. The other character who I'm excited to see is Belize. She is the second in command of the Red Lantern Corps. I love these like bone wings that she has. She is also part of the new Guardians that kind of Kyle helps found, I think. I believe she is also the first Red Lantern to be able to clear her mind enough to summon constructs. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that happens. So we have Focus Seductress. At the beginning of the game, choose an opposing character. Belize can use mind control, but only target that character. If she's adjacent, she can use mind control as a free action. That is very solid, getting that as a free action. Kind of choose like a key opponent that you know you're going to be attacking a lot. She also gets Rage, Self-Controlled Ritual. Yeah, so she absolutely is the one who controls herself long enough to be able to summon constructs. She can use Poison and does penetrating damage. At the end of your turn, if no opposing characters took damage from Belize, modify your defense by +1 until your next turn. So that's interesting. So like if you don't damage anybody, you get +1 defense, but if you do, you hurt them. So overall, Belize, just again, super cool, is the kind of second in command of Red Lanterns, and the only one who I know who can make constructs, so. We are blazing through these now. Again, we've kind of just looked at all the commons and uncommons. All that's really left are the rares and above. Let's hope that we get at least one chase. And hopefully it's not one of the two that I already own. That would be a little disappointing. But then again, it might encourage me to buy more of this set. So we have a Red Lantern Recruit. We have Rancor. We have Red Lantern guy Gardner. We have Firestorm, and we have the Entity right off the bat, and it is, in fact, one that I don't own. So I will get to talk about the Entities, and it is one of the cooler sculpts of the Entities, though, to be honest, they're all really cool. So we have here... let's switch to the right camera before I show off the sculpt to nobody. We have the Predator, the Entity of Love. Super awesome, man. I love that I get more of these entities. Are so awesome, and I love that they like finally got Heroclix forms. I love that this entire set was about them. The only thing I didn't love is how hard it is to get them. So, super awesome. So the let's go ahead and talk about the character. As I said, the Entity of Love is called the Predator. It is a joke about how, well, not really a joke, but like commentary on kind of aggressive love. I guess I could say like abusive love almost. So that is why instead of being something like loving, it is like actually like an alien creature. A lot of the Pink Lanterns are kind of very aggressive in their love as well, often attacking the people that they like. So this, like, I'm not going to go through this full trait because it is very wordy. But basically, this is kind of this is like the first evolution of equipment in the game. So the entities, they are capable of possessing people. So you would pay 25 points, and you would attach this character to a standard, effectively a standard character. It didn't say standard, but standard characters didn't exist at this time. To a character on your team, and then their dials would become linked. And what that would mean is if your character was on the first click, this character would be on the first click. And then if this character took damage, you would move their dials together, and you would choose powers that were available on the entity's dial, and you would choose a stat that was higher on their dial, and then you would buff up the character who had them. So, for instance, if you were on your first click and you were possessed by the Predator, whoops, you could choose, for instance, you might choose Shape Change, because that's one of the powers they have. You might also choose Range, because that 10 range is insane. Wow, so that's how that worked. It really was like the earliest form of equipment in Heroclix, and I think it really did a lot to kind of shape how equipment turned out in the Mighty Thor set. So we can see that's kind of all that's saying is what the Possessed is and how exactly it works, how you choose those powers and stuff like that. Then on the inside, we can see the special powers that the Predator has. We have Cosmic Love. Predator can use Shape Change in the Mystics team ability and the Quintessence team ability. So just a wonderful slew of powers. And if you choose that when you're possessed, you also get all three of those powers. We also have the Power of Love. It is a curious thing. It will make one man weep and another man sing. All characters within range can use mind control. That is friendly and opposing, so that is actually a bit risky. That's interesting. So overall, just an incredible sculpt. I wish that my camera would. There we go. There it's starting to focus. This incredible kind of xenomorph alien. And what's also super cool is actually all of the lanterns are actually different in every lantern core. So, for instance, if we take a look at the Green Lantern, you can see that is kind of like the standard lantern design. But every lantern actually has a unique designed lantern. So you can see that the Star Sapphire lantern is a little bit more elongated. And if we take a look back at Proselyte back here, you can see this one is kind of very rudimentary, kind of hammered out. So that was just one of those little details that I really loved about these chases. And it's a little bit sad because we did get the big lantern batteries, but none of them looked unique. I think that was a missed opportunity to make all of those look super awesome as well. But it probably saved WizKids money. But overall, I'm super happy that we got this chase. I will be hunting down the other entities over time because, again, I'm going to try to complete this set because I love me some Green Lantern. But I'm very happy that we didn't get a duplicate. So let's go ahead and move on and see if we can get wrong camera. See if we can get the rest of those rings. I believe we are still missing black and... Actually, is it just black? Yeah, because green would have been in the booster pack. Okay, let's see if we can get that last ring then. Maybe a duplicate ring worth trading. So we're still looking for some super rares. If I had to ask anything else from this set, I would love to see Superboy Prime. But at this point, I wouldn't really mind if we didn't get anything else. I'm pretty happy. So we have Recruit, Red Lantern, Hal Jordan. We have Cerric, Black Lantern, Aquaman, and we have this is what is this? Fatality. Fatality, I believe, is, let's see if I can get this right. She is the girlfriend of Jon Stewart. They had some relationship problems, and like a lot of Green Lanterns who have relationship problems, their girlfriends end up becoming yellow lanterns. Or not yellow, pink. So let's see if she has that crystal ability that I've talked about, yet hasn't manifested at all. Like a special incapacitate or something. So we have Fatality. Oh, you can see she's actually a dual kind of lantern. So if a lantern was in multiple factions, sometimes you would see this fading card. There aren't a whole bunch of them, but it's still really awesome to see. So yep, she is a Sinestro core and a Star Sapphire. Star Sapphire is the name of the Love core, even if I don't always call them that. Same for Sinestro core and the Fear Yellow core. Love another as you would yourself. Fatality can use Change. Fatality can use Change, my favorite power. Charge, I can't read. Sorry, I'm also trying to read from this camera, and it's not the closest to me. Fatality can use Charge and Mind Control. When using Mind Control during Charge, hit characters can use Charge. That's interesting, because that's not how Mind Control really works anymore. Would that mean nowadays you could attack twice with a mind-controlled character? I don't know. Love Conquers All with Blades, Claws, Fangs. Love to see it. We also have Love for a World Destroyed. I guess she's an alien of some kind. I don't really know a lot about her because I don't really like Jon Stewart. Fatality can use Shape Change in the Mystic's team ability. When she uses Mystics, opposing characters is fewer squares from Fatality's starting area than its own. Deal 2 unavoidable damage instead. Again, I love to see all of these that specify unavoidable damage, because that means if you play them nowadays, instead of dealing penetrating, they would in fact deal unavoidable, which is just kind of mean, really. So there we go. Wish I knew more about her, but I don't really know a lot about her. But that's because she is tied to Jon Stewart, and I just never got behind him. Kills too many people. Making our way through these last few, still looking out for those 3 super rares, possibly a prime, maybe not a prime. I don't know how this breakdown works. Bucks. We have Black Lantern Reanimate, Monk. We have Red Lantern Liara. We have another Pink Ring, another Cerric. Okay, so nothing new here. Hopefully that's not a sign that we have a gonna get a whole lot of duplicate characters, but it is a little sad to see a duplicate rare. Do have another ring though, so maybe if we don't get that last ring that we're looking for, that gives us the ability to trade for one. Next booster pack straight away. Honestly, we might have gotten all of the rares, to be honest. I don't really know. Missing piece here, that is probably an Indigo recruit. Yep, there he is. We also have a controller, Monk, cards blocking what we got, and something really heavy, and that is because it is Specter, Red Lantern Specter. Awesome. Is he a super rare? I believe he is. So there's one of our super rares, and a very cool one at that, because Specter is a super fun character. I have 10% left on my phone battery. Let's see if we can finish this up before I run out of battery. So here's Specter. He is ginormous. So Specter is the Spirit of Vengeance in DC, kind of the equivalent of Ghost Rider in Marvel Comics, except he's significantly stronger than Ghost Rider, from my understanding. So again, during the Blackest Night kind of War of Light kind of events, he eventually became a Red Lantern, and if you give a god the power of Red Lantern, you end up with a bad time. So let's go ahead and take a look at what he does. So first off, I do want to mention that he is a giant-sized character. That is very important because the new rules for giant characters are insane. Giant characters right now, I think they're kind of overtuned. They have such good stats and they can clear like every turn. They are very strong. So this guy probably got a buff just from being giant. So he is Mystic Red Lantern Core. Hatred Feels My Soul. Friendly characters within 4 squares can use Blades, Claws, Fangs. When they do, if they roll a 5 or a 6, deal them 1 unavoidable damage as action resolves. That is fair. Basically just giving out Blades, Claws, Fangs, and who cares if you take a little feedback damage because you hit your opponent for 6 damage. He also has the Contestants team ability that is the equivalent of Power Cosmic nowadays, so he gets 2 chances every turn to clear himself with the D6 roll. Spectre can use Poison and deals penetrating damage when using it. At the beginning of the game, whenever Spectre KOs an opposing character of 25 points or more, put a Soul Reap counter on his card. When he uses Poison, opposing characters within X squares in line of fire are considered adjacent, where X is the number of Soul Reap counters on his card. That is super awesome. So basically, if you just go around like killing people, because again, he is like the Spirit of Vengeance, if you reap like 2 or 3 soul tokens, all of a sudden you're going to be dealing like penetrating damage in like a 3 to 4 tile radius around you. That is very scary, and I can imagine that compiling very quickly. Also with 9 range. Oh my god, they just gave out range insane back in the day, didn't they? Let's take a look at what his top click looks like. Oh, that's what you like to see for a top click. Like, gee, back then, that is a monstrous top click, man. Like, just a really cool character. Super awesome to see him. There is also a Black Lantern version of him. I don't know which one's better, but this one has a lot of veins, so super awesome, super cool character. I don't think we've gotten a Spectre in a long time in a DC set. I don't know if that's indicative of the fact that he may not exist in DC right now. I don't really know. Maybe there are a bunch of comics about him right now. I just don't know. I Am God's Rage is the name of that ability. He also has Holy Aura of Rage. At the beginning of your turn, choose Spectre possesses Battle Fury this turn, or if he does, or he doesn't. If he does, until your next turn, he can't be targeted by opposing characters unless they are adjacent. That is really interesting. So basically, you can turn off your own ability to do ranged attacks, but if you do, your opponents lose the ability to do ranged attacks against him as well, which is going to push them closer for that penetrating poison damage. And his Blaze Claw's Fangs that he's giving out. Wow. I don't know why you would ever turn that off, but then again, he has 9 range, so frankly, do whatever you want. Yeah, 250 points, absolutely worth it in my opinion. That seems just like a ton of fun. I would run that guy on his own. Moving back, let me try to remember to plug in my phone really quick just to make sure it doesn't die and then I lose my close-up camera. We are on the last 5 boosters. We've already gotten our Chase. We have already gotten a super rare and a super awesome one at that. We have just been getting a lot of love from this set. I still really want to see somebody with super in their name, either Superboy or Supergirl. Still really want to see the Black Lantern rings so I can get them all. So we have... I don't know what this is. That is another... God, these guys, they're always bent, and they always bend whoever's next to them. That is an Indigo Tribe recruit. That is a Star Sapphire recruit. That is a booster, preventing me from seeing what is also in the set. Another Cerrick. That's interesting. Okay, so we have 3 Cerricks now, but we did get lucky enough to pull the very last ring we were looking for. So if we go ahead and go over here, we do have all of the rings from this set, I believe. So that is the Black Lantern ring. If I had to guess what it does, I believe it gives Steel Energy. And if an opposing character is KO'd, you get a heal 1 click. But let's double check. Yeah, this character's Black Lantern keyword, modify all their combat values by +1. Otherwise, they get the Black Lantern keyword, Steel Energy, when opposing character is KO'd, heal them with 1 damage. Yep, exactly what you would expect. Still a very strong effect, especially if you can give it to your entire team. Basically just meaning if you're running a Black Lantern theme team or something like that, your entire character can heal. Just whenever anybody dies, an opposing character. Sad that we did get 3 Cerricks, though. Kind of hurts our rare pickup rate. But the good news is our jewelry collection is, in fact, currently complete until we can get around to opening some Wave 1 stuff. That is very exciting. I'm going to wear these for the rest of the video because I can. Last 4 booster packs. Looking for 2 more super rares, I think, unless I'm miscounting, but I don't think I am. Give me a super person. And another entity, if that's an opportunity. I don't think it's an opportunity. I'm surprised we didn't get an entity in our first one. I wonder if that means we're not going to get a prime. I genuinely don't know. So we have another Black Lantern Abensur. Kind of sad to see duplicates, but maybe we've already gotten all the rares in the set. Hard to say. Probably means we're not going to be seeing anybody else new. Nope. Okay, nobody new in that booster pack. Little depressing, but it means we can move on to the next one, and it means we have a chance of finishing this video before my phone dies. Still looking for some super rares, still looking for some primes. Maybe there's a good chance we can combine those into a single booster pack, get a super rare prime. We have... Ooh, we got Black Hand. That is actually that is technically another entity. I did ask for one. Another Sornik Natu, the girl whose name I don't know, and just an ever-increasing onslaught of bent bat people. So we will go ahead and take a look at the new piece. Funny enough, we did get the entity, that is. So there is one entity. You know this is an old DC set because you haven't pulled a single Batman. That is absolutely true. But then again, in the new modern DC sets, you can't pull any characters without getting a Green Lantern. So this is Black Hand. William Hand. He was originally some normal villain. I don't know a lot about him. But then he was chosen to kind of become the entity of the Black. So he is the equivalent of the other spirits that we have. So Proselyte, Ion, Predator, wherever Predator went. Over here, behind the camera. Get back on stage. So if we take a look, we will see the same mega wordy trait that the other entities have. He is our super rare as well. So we can see Black Hand with the entity possession, this kind of predecessor to how equipment works. On the inside, we can see his stats and his cards. Or no stats, sorry, those don't exist. We do get a picture of him. Hello. Oblivion of Death. When a friendly character with a Black Lantern keyword is healed because of an opposing character, increase the healing by 1. So that's really interesting. You put him on a Black Lantern team. How expensive is he on his own? 200. Ow, that is very expensive. I would have liked that if it was a bit cheaper, but basically if you possess somebody, if you choose that ability, you can get a lot more bang from your buck whenever you KO somebody. So, and you get that Black Lantern healing ability. He has Death, it's the basic one, so you get Steal Energy and heals whenever he KOs an opposing character. He also has Despair of the Blackest Night. When an opposing character makes an attack, choose an opposing character within 10 squares and let a fire. Modify that character's defense by -1 until the end of your next turn. When an opposing character misses an attack, choose... Wow, so basically the more your opponents miss, the more -1s they're going to get on your defense, and you can actually choose the same character. Yeah, you can choose the same character multiple times, so you can actually stack up a lot of negatives on an opponent's defense. That seems very good. There we go, real name William Hand. Super awesome, really cool sculpt. Funny that I did ask for another entity, and we did get the one entity that's not a chase. Yeah, he's a D-list Green Lantern villain until his story. Yeah, that's about my understanding of him. But here he is. He is the one who kind of starts Blackest Night, to my knowledge. Blackest Night was kind of a big kind of prophecy kind of storyline in Green Lantern. Their Green Lantern motto is, in brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might fear my power, Green Lantern's light. That blackest night part, brightest day and blackest night, was eventually tied onto the blackest night kind of prophecy with the Black Lanterns kind of rising. And then that led into the brightest day storyline. So, very cool. Last 2 booster packs. We are looking for 2 more super rares. Hopefully one of them is a super rare prime. No guarantees though. Hopefully one is a Superboy Prime. Superboy's in this block, right? I don't know. So we have, Moro. He is the graveyard person of Green Lanterns, I believe. We also have Miri Riam, Monk, and nobody else new. So we'll take a look at Moro. Shares the name with the Dragon Ball villain of all people. No, Moro from Green Lantern came way before Moro from Dragon Ball. Let's see if I can get him out of this booster pack without damaging him, because he is a very, very kind of widespread sculpt. You have a Superboy Prime, really powerful character in the universe, but I really hate him as a character. I don't know anything about him as a character. I know that I fought against him a few times in some sealed events in Heroclix, and I know he destroyed me, so that's why I really want one. And there we go. Managed to get him out. Again, a really good sculpt, especially... oh no, he is our last super rare. Oh, okay. So there's our last super rare. So no Superboy Prime for us. A little bit sad, but we will live. He's got his... dragon kind of flying next to him. Again, I don't know a ton about him. I think he is a... I think he's like the Grave Tender. He's a whiny fanboy. But you have him as the Yellow Lantern. Which one's the Prime? Is the Prime the red or the yellow? So, Moro, Crypt Keeper of the Core. When another friendly character with the Green Lantern Core keyword is KO'd, turn it to any click and then place it on this card. Place it on this card. Moro can use the standard powers on that click. That is very strong. Especially if you have a lot of like cheaper Green Lantern characters, you can just stack Moro with powers. He has Will Relentless. Moro can use willpower when opposing character targets him without wit, 50-50. When opposing character within 6 squares takes pushing damage, hear Moro 1 click. Wow. That ability isn't going to do anything anymore because pushing damage has been removed from the game. Very sad. Basically, the way that it used to work is if your character did not have willpower or did not have a strike through their shield, you could only be given 1 action token. If you were given a second action token before clearing, you would take 1 unavoidable damage as pushing damage. That has been removed from the game. That is no longer a thing. Willpower does other things. So yeah, that power, unless you're playing with the older rule set, that power does nothing other than the normal willpower. So that's a little sad. His sector is 666. That is the one that was destroyed by the Guardians, though, I think, with the Manhunters, so I don't really know what he has to be a Green Lantern of, because that sector should be Ash. So overall, I think 120 points. I mean, I like him. If you can, like, really, like, kill a lot of Green Lanterns and get, like, some defense powers, some steal energy, some stuff like that, Yeah, because looking through his dial, he doesn't seem that kind of great on his own, but the idea that you can like stack up powers makes him like a very dangerous kind of threat. He's in your box of cool sculpts. I would absolutely put him on my box of cool sculpts. Anyway, the very last booster pack here. I think we've gotten everything good. Maybe we can just try to get a rare that we have not seen before. Then again, we're still looking for a prime, so maybe an uncommon prime. Or a common prime. I don't remember what the primes were in this set. We have... we got another deck star to finish this off. Black Lantern Aquaman, Miri Riam, another Indigo ring, it looks like. Hal Jordan, and... or no, is that... yeah, that is Indigo. Hal Jordan and a Black Lantern Reanimate. Okay, so we did get a second cat. I can now field 3 cats on the same team. We are close to building our 300-point deck star army. Let's go ahead and take a look. Again, we're not going to read the card because we already looked at it earlier. But... if I had to get a duplicate rare, I am happy that it's deck star. So overall, I'm very pleased with the kind of a lot of the characters that we got. I'm a little sad we didn't see a second entity, but I guess my knowledge that they were 1 entity per brick is incorrect. I guess my group just had insanely lucky pull rates when we played back in 2014, but then again, it's been a long time, so maybe I forgot. But I am very happy that this was the chase that we got. Hopefully I will still be able to pull a Butcher in the future. That is now the one chase that I don't have from this wave. We did get the super rare that I wanted the most, along with some really cool ones along the way. Overall, like, this set was just... it's such a fun set for me. Like, the theming that went into it, the kind of pieces, the stories behind them, like, it's so much fun. And I hope that kind of, like... I hope my love of Green Lantern kind of came through during this stream, because I adore these comics, I adore these characters. Like, they're cool, and I wish more people kind of knew about Green Lantern. I wish Ryan Reynolds didn't butcher the movie so hard. But they're such fun characters, and I'm glad that, like, DC sets kind of at this point always have like a good amount of Green Lantern characters. So I'm glad that at least the Heroclix community kind of appreciates Green Lantern characters a lot. I just kind of wish general audiences knew more a little bit about Green Lantern characters. But overall, this set, absolutely 5 stars for me. Just a blast all the way through. Hopefully in the future, we will... I'll try to pick up maybe Wave 1 of Green Lantern, see if I can get some of those pieces, because I do want to talk about some of the other Lantern cores that didn't show up in this set. For instance, Sinestro core, the Blue Lantern core, the Orange Lanterns, even though there's pretty much only Larfleeze. Just a ton of fun. Ryan wasn't the one who messed up the movie. You're right. I'm not blaming Ryan Reynolds. It's not Ryan Reynolds' fault that the Green Lantern movie was bad. It's the producer, the writer, somebody other than Ryan Reynolds. It's not like Ryan Reynolds didn't have the same control over Green Lantern as he did for something like Deadpool. Because I think if he did, it would have been a lot better. But I do feel like that movie's failure kind of hurt Green Lantern in a lot of ways, like a lot of public perception of him. I heard an old interview that saying the reason that the Green Lantern TV show was canceled is because it didn't have the toy sales that it needed to, because the Green Lantern movie bombed so hard. So maybe I'm just salty that they ended probably the best Green Lantern TV show. But yeah, frankly, if you haven't seen that, go watch the Green Lantern animated TV show. And if you have already seen the Green Lantern animated TV show, go watch it again, because it was really good. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. This was probably the equivalent to a Halloween stream that we're probably going to do. Got a lot of Black Lanterns here. That makes it Halloween themed, right? And plus, like, look we got like a monster. That should count as a Halloween stream. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make anything by the end of this month. Got a lot going on with the university. We're kind of going through midterms right now, so wish me luck through those. Other than that, I guess I really just want to say, like, I haven't had the opportunity to thank you guys. I feel like the moment that I got 100 subscribers, like, my mind was blown, first of all, and I was like, I'm going to make my next video and I'm going to thank them. And then by the time I made my next video, I had 200 subscribers, and that is just, like, the support has, like, blown me away. Like, the community for this game is so great. It's so wonderful. I like being able to make content for my favorite game with all of you guys, and I'm super happy that you guys seem to be enjoying what I'm putting out, even if it is, like, 2.5 hour long, or just 2 hour. 2 hour long streams of just having fun, just walking through memory lane, man. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Hopefully we'll see the channel continue to grow into the future. Eventually, I love the idea that maybe we could hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone. I know we're still a long way, but if we can get there, and maybe if this channel can maybe start supporting itself a little bit more, so I don't have to dip into my limited college funds every time I want to do a video like this, that would be convenient. I know that's a very long time from now, but hey, maybe by that time I'll actually have like a real engineering job, and then I won't have to worry about finances as much. But for right now, it's ramen for dinner. Um, I'm ranting now. Anyway, the point is, thank you guys so much. I can't wait for my next video. I can't wait for the new item rules for Heroclix. I cannot wait for the new terrain rules that are coming out in the upcoming Spider-Man set. Those are gonna like, if there's one thing I'm super excited for, it's the new terrain rules. I think that is gonna like completely change how the game is played, and I'm very excited for it. So hopefully, as we kind of continue this journey, we're going to experience those things together, and we'll see some new pieces, some new characters that we haven't seen in a while. Maybe we'll get some more Dexters in the new Batman set, because you guys know I'm buying a case of that set, and I'm hunting down specifically this cat. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me, guys. What button is it? Is it this one? No, it's this one.